The distance between Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park is 204 miles. The distance from home to first, 90 feet. Mound to home, just over 60 feet.
And it's strike three. Strikes him out.
But when the difference between victory and defeat is a matter of inches.
His throw down is going to be late.
The only way to truly measure this historic rivalry is to continue it.
He struck him out. That's the Jeter to run it down.
Let the weekend begin.
And a drive to left field. Driven to deep left field.
Yankees, Red Sox, next. Welcome to a beautiful night in Boston. The greatest rivalry in sports is back again. It's game one of a three-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Well, a check of the standings heading into this three-game weekend series by virtue of a win yesterday for New York over Oakland. They now have a 5.5-game lead over the Red Sox as the Red Sox have won 4 straight games. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, Jerry, heading into this series, certainly more important for the Red Sox, who are 5.5 games out. The question is with the Yankees, who have 46 wins, how are they doing it?
Well, they're doing it with home runs. I mean, they're an offensive ball club that hits a lot of home runs. They're third in the league behind Houston and Toronto, and you can see they got 5 members in the lineup tonight that are all double digits in home runs. Teixeira with his 22, Alex Rodriguez 16, McCann with 13, Stephen Drew with 12, and Brett Gardner, who's going to the All-Star game, he has 10. And as I mentioned, third in the American League. So that's basically, when you look at their numbers on paper, that's how they're scoring their runs, by the home run. The back end of their bullpen is very good also. We've seen that in the past. But the team has started to take shape now. And once again, they are the Bronx Bombers. For a couple of years, they were not hitting a lot of home runs. Now they are.
Should be a great series here tonight from Fenway Park and a very good pitching matchup. Clay Buchholz, who's had a tough time against the Yankees, 5-8 in his career. Michael Pineda, 2-2 against Boston in his career. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan, get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park as we get ready for Game 1 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, eligible for tonight's game is Dustin Pedroia, but he remains sidelined as that hamstring situation for Dustin continues. We won't know if we will see him this weekend or not. We've seen David Ortiz at first base the last couple of days, and Gary Streisky. I guess the question is, who's at first tonight for Boston?
A familiar face. It's probably felt like an eternity for Mike Napoli, and quite honestly, this past week is a long time coming for Nap. Back at first base, the stage is set. No bigger stage than a 3-game set against the Yankees. It's time to perform for the first baseman.
A week of work. We gave him a little bit of a blow, as we know, with the 2 off days and the 2 days down against Miami. And at some point, we knew that there's going to be the need to get him back in the game after the work and gaining some confidence through that work, and tonight's a chance for that. But his production has been clear. Yeah, there's been streakiness. There's been a stretch of time where he's been challenged here of late. But when you look at the big picture, we're going to need his production, and tonight's an opportunity to get back on track.
The Red Sox are ready to go. This couple seems confused. Yankees, Red Sox, make up your mind. No confusion. The stakes at stake in this 3-game series. The first place Yankees coming to town for a 3-game set against Boston. Game 1 coming up.
Mitsubishi Motors invites you to find your own lane. Citizens Bank. Good banking is good citizenship. And by your local Subaru dealers. Welcome back to Fenway Park as the Red Sox have taken the field tonight. Clay Buchholz leading the charge onto the field for the Red Sox. As they do, let's check out the New York Yankees starting lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury is in center field leading it off with Brett Gardner in left. Alex Rodriguez, the DH, bats third with Mark Teixeira at first base. Brian McCann does the catching with Garrett Jones in right field. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop, at seventh with Stephen Drew at second base. And Cole Figueroa is at third, batting ninth. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. 18th start of the year for Buchholz. 7-6 with a 3.27 earned run average. 104 strikeouts to 23 walks. And opponent sitting at 256 against Buchholz. Last time out, a great outing and a win against the Houston Astros, going 9 innings. 6 hits, a run, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 8.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and the Red Sox are 9th in the American League with 49 errors in 86 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Buchholz at second, Mike Napoli back at first base. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Alejandro De Aza. And Sandy Leon doing the catching, as always, for Clay Buchholz.
Tonight's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience a new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Ted Barrett has the plate. He is the crew chief with Chris Conroy at first base. Angel Hernandez at second, and Pat Hoberg is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP is presented by Diplomatico Rum. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Now the weather conditions tonight, 77 degrees to begin the ball game. Breeze left to right at 9 miles per hour. And the forecast partly cloudy right now. A lot of blue skies above Fenway and very comfortable. Lights are on and the breeze is light to begin this game. Now Joe Girardi's Yankees playing yesterday at home and beating the Oakland A's. In fact, taking the final 2 games of that series against the Athletics. And they come in at 46-39, a 3-game lead over the Orioles. They are 5.5 games better than the Yankees in the American League East. John Farrell coming in, having won 4 straight games for the first time this year. The Red Sox have won 8 of their last 10 contests as they come into tonight's big series against the Yankees. Jacoby Ellsbury just back off the DL and standing in to get it started here in the top half of the first inning. First pitch of the ball game from Clay Buchholz is fouled off to the left, out of play. Ellsbury hitting overall at .321 on the year. Home run, 8 runs batted in. There's Clay Buchholz was banged up by the Yankees in his second start of the year, giving up 10 runs. 9 of them were earned in that outing at Yankee Stadium. Has to forget about that tonight.
He's never had real good success against the Yankees in 16 career starts. 5-8 against New York with a 6.38 ERA.
Ellsbury, who had been on the DL from May 20th through July 8th with a right knee sprain, sends one out towards right center field. Mookie Betts on the run will dive and make the catch in center field. Mookie Betts starts off the evening with a spectacular catch.
Well, I didn't think there was any way Mookie Betts was going to get to that ball. It was blooping out into that gap. And look at the concentration on the baseball for Mookie Betts. Right into the pocket of the glove. Closes the glove as it hits the ground and able to hold on to it. What a way to start the game off defensively for the Red Sox.
Buchholz very appreciative of the effort out there by Betts. The position's manned so well for so many years out there by Jacoby Ellsbury, and he gets robbed by the new Red Sox center fielder Mookie Betts. Now Brett Gardner at .303. All-star Brett Gardner, 10 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Alex Gordon placed on the DL by the Royals, and that gave Gardner a chance to jump off the internet list as far as votes go and get right into the All-Star game as an outfielder.
Yeah, very good season. 40 runs batted in from that 2-hole in the lineup for Brett Gardner.
Takes the 1-0 and it drops in there for a strike. Ball and a strike. Outfield about straight away. Sandoval, step or two in the grass at third. Never know when Gardner could drop one down. Plenty of speed at the top of this order between Ellsbury and Gardner as he jumps back out of the way.
Yeah, when you look at their lineup, all the speed is right up top with Jacoby Ellsbury and Brett Gardner. Ellsbury with 14 steals, Gardner with 15 on the season.
Popped up left side. Bogarts heading back into shallow left, calling and catching out number 2. Clay Buchholz is the subject of our Lowe's Never Stop Improving profile. First 10 starts of the year, 2-6 with a 4.33 ERA and the 5 home runs given up. Last 7 starts, 5-0 with an ERA under 2 at 1.99. and 0 home runs allowed.
Yeah, John Farrell was talking about Buchholz today in his meeting with the media, saying, he right now has command of all 4 of his pitches. Is able to put him where he wants to. He's repeating his delivery, and he's been very, very effective, as you can see, as of late.
2 down for Alex Rodriguez. The curveball misses inside. A-Rod had yesterday off against the Oakland A's, just 1 hit in his last 14 at-bats. Comes in toting the .276 average. 16 home runs on the season, 47 runs batted in.
Two-seam fastball that time from Buchholz inside to Rodriguez. 407 in his career against Buchholz with a couple of home runs.
Rodriguez fouls it off. That pitch kind of biting down and in.
Yeah, same thing. Two-seam fastball that time closer to the plate, and Rodriguez fouls it off. You see the rotation on the fastball moving back down and in. That's a tough pitch to handle.
In the air to deep left field. Hanley Ramirez will watch this ball right out of here. Up over everything in left for Alex Rodriguez. His 17th home run of the year. And the Yankees jump on top 1-0.
Now that looked like a changeup to me from Clay Buchholz that stayed up in the zone. And we talked in the open about the home run capability of the New York Yankees. We see it here in the first inning. Yep, the changeup grip, and it stays upstairs about thigh high. And that's one Rodriguez is not going to miss.
His 17th home run of the year, and the Yankees jump on top 1-0. Now Mark Teixeira. He's been the leader in the home run category with 22 for New York. 244 average coming in and 62 RBIs. RBIs first in the American League with 62, 2 more than Josh Donaldson of the Blue Jays, as he fouls that one off his front foot. 4th in the league in home runs with 22. Albert Pujols with 26 on the year. As the Red Sox shift on Teixeira. Lined and caught. It's Sandoval on the right side of the infield, perfectly positioned. As it turned out, A-Rod hits a home run, puts New York on top 1-0. Rodriguez's home run has put the Yankees on top 1-0. Let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup tonight. It's brought to you by our Eastern Hyundai dealers. It is Mookie Betts has already chipped in with a great catch out at center field. Buchholz at second base with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. It'll be David Ortiz, the DH. Hanley Ramirez back in left field with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Mike Napoli back at first for Boston tonight. Alejandro De Aza is in right field. And Sandy Leon doing the catching as he normally does for Clay Buchholz. The Yankees starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Michael Pineda. His 17th start of the year, 8-5 with 3.79 earned run average, 105 Ks, 13 walks, and opponent sitting at 276. Right-hander ready to work here to Mookie Betts. And his first pitch in there for strike one.
3 pitches they'll see from Pineda as you look at his last outing Saturday. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs. That was against Tampa Bay. Fastball, slider, changeup combination.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Jumps ahead of Mookie here, 0-2. That's had a quiet series against Miami, going 0-for-8 in the series. On the ground, foul towards the end of the Yankees dugout, on down the line.
Kind of amazing number you gave on Pineda, Don. The fact that he's only walked 13 batters in 99 2/3 innings with 105 strikeouts.
In search of his 9th win of the year here tonight, coming in at 8-5. 2-2 in his career against Boston. And Betts strikes out. Fastball at 95, up and away. And of course, the Red Sox and Michael Pineda have a past. Flashback to last year, and of course, the first time the Red Sox noticed the pine tar on the hand of Pineda. That was at Yankee Stadium, and the Red Sox did not have a problem or say anything that night, but he appeared at Fenway Park later on in April, and the Red Sox did call him out on this. Jerry Davis, who was the crew chief that night, ejecting him in the first inning. Of course, did not have the pine tar on the neck. In the second inning, definitely did, and was ejected and suspended as part of that deal. Here he is at Fenway Park again, and his first appearance of this year against the Red Sox here at Fenway. On the ground, Stephen Drew throws out Buchholz, 2 down.
The Yankees defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they're 13th in the league with 59 errors on the season. Cole Figueroa will be at third base. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop. Stephen Drew at second. And Mark Teixeira, the first baseman. Left to right, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Garrett Jones. And Brian McCann doing the catching for Pineda.
2 down here in the first inning for Xander Bogaerts. 304, 3 homers, and 41 runs driven in. Xander did not win the online voting, as Mike Moustakas did win the Kansas City Royals. You never know. It seems like there's a couple of injuries over the weekend leading up to the All-Star game, and Xander certainly towards the top of the list in that category should there be an opening.
Right now, Pineda with a very good fastball, 96 on that last fastball. The Bogaerts slid right by him.
By the dive of Gregorius into left field for a base hit for Bogaerts.
Well, he throws the fastball right by him at 96. He comes back with a slider, and Bogaerts able to pick up the base hit with 2 outs the inning. Not much of a slider, just kind of spinning up to home plate, and Bogaerts gets it a little bit toward the end of the bat and extends his hitting streak to 8 games now.
Look at the numbers now, the 9-game hitting streak for Bogaerts. At 452 along the way. So 2 down, and Xander held on at first by Teixeira. Here is David Ortiz. 230, 15 homers, and 43 runs batted in for David. And back in his familiar DH spot tonight, with Mike Napoli back defensively at first base. Shift on here against David on the right side with Stephen Drew back in short right field. In there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. 214 career games for the Red Sox DH against the Yankees, a .307 average, and 45 home runs against the Yankees. "13 remaining games between the Red Sox and the Yankees." Counting for 17% of the Red Sox remaining schedule.
Now, the Yankees recently have been pitching very well, but they're still 10th in the league in ERA and 11th in the league in runs scored against them. But recently things have been better for them.
Line foul. Time out for the Coors Banquet Timeless Moment on this date of 2013. Ortiz became the all-time hit leader as designated hitter with a double in the second inning against the Mariners. It was the 1,689th hit for Ortiz, passing Harold Baines on the all-time hit list as a DH. David bats now with 2 down. Xander Bogaerts at first base. Full count now. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck.
The sheriff wants to know, play behind him or hold him on, and they got to go right behind Xander Bogaerts at first base.
Bogaerts takes off, but a chopper to first, and Teixeira tags the bag to end the inning. Red Sox leave a base runner through 1. The Yankees have a 1-0 lead. Red Sox Yankees, your favorite sports rivalry. Text 1 for yes, text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy. Now it's on here to the second inning. A lot of conflicted couples here throughout the ballpark, as the Yankees have a 1-0 advantage thanks to the home run by Alex Rodriguez in the first inning. Brian McCann, the catcher, leads it off here in the second inning. And McCann will take strike 1.
Now the Red Sox in the shift on McCann as we look at his numbers. 13 home runs, 53 runs batted in.
Fouls it off, down 0-2.
Now they'll shift spots as with 2 strikes. Sandoval will go where Bogarts was at second base, and Bogarts back to his natural position at shortstop. The reason they do that, obviously, is in case they were to drop a bunt down third base, you've got a third baseman there to field it, and Sandoval.
In the dirt, a kind of a check swing there, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Saw his hit directions, nearly half going to the shift side, 49%.
And they play him to pull in the infield and the outfield.
Garrett Jones waiting on deck. Yankees batting here in the second inning. It'll bounce in for ball 2.
Another changeup by Buchholz. That one's certainly better than he threw A-Rod. A-Rod's was up in the zone. A-Rod took it out of the ballpark. That time the changeup bouncing to McCann.
Foul tipped, and staying alive here is McCann. On the ground, foul. Well, the Yankees under 500 on the road. They come in at 21-23 away from Yankee Stadium. Home 25-16. Curveball for strike 3. Picks up that outside corner. First strikeout for Clay Buchholz.
Good backdoor curveball one time from Buchholz. He's going to start it outside and bring it back to the corner. And that's one, obviously, that the left-hander gives up on. You watch it, you know it's a strike, and there's not much you can do about it. McCann will just make his way back to the dugout. No argument.
And one down for Garrett Jones. Jones, a right fielder for New York. And he'll take a bender for strike 1. 230 average, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in for Jones. Oh for 4 yesterday, has 4 hits in his last 16 at bats. Kind of gets jammed and flips it out to shallow center. Bats again, can't get it this time. Gets up quickly and fires it back in, holding Jones to a single. That's again diving, caught the first one, not this one.
Couldn't quite get to this one. Another nice effort, though, by Mookie Betts out in center field. Same type of dive, but that ball clearly bouncing about 2 feet in front of him. He gets himself. He pops back up and is able to retrieve that himself and hold a base runner to a single. And you see Betts 1 step back, then comes in, and that may have cost him making another great play.
So Jones aboard, 1 down here in the inning for Didi Gregorius. 240, 4 homers, 19 runs batted in. On the ground, foul for strike 1.
He has been up and down, Gregorius, between the minor leagues and the big leagues a number of different times this year for the Yankees.
Two hits in his last 17 at bats. To right field. De Aza headed over towards the dirt of the track to make the catch. Jones back to first with now 2 outs in the inning. The Grammy Award-winning rock band The Foo Fighters will be playing Fenway Park July 18th and 19th, and a limited amount of great seats have just been released. Get your tickets before they are sold out at redsox.com/Foo Fighters. 2 down here in the second inning with Garrett Jones at first base, and Stephen Drew the batter. 181 average, but he does have 12 home runs. 25 runs batted in for the Yankees. He is second among Major League second basemen with the 12 home runs. Only Brian Dozier has more. Dozier with 18 home runs on the year for the Minnesota Twins.
I can see why we talked in the view from the booth about the couple of lefties going the next couple of days for the Red Sox. I mean, this is a heavy left-handed hitting lineup for the Yankees.
Good numbers against his former teammate, Clay Buchholz. Eduardo Rodriguez going tomorrow. Wade Miley on Sunday in the finale of the series. And he'll drop in there for a strike. 1-1. Curveball's been pretty good so far for Clay.
It really has. He's been able to keep it away from those left-handed hitters, picking up the outside corner with it. Very similar to the pitch that he struck McCann out with.
Swing and a miss. That drew off balance there.
That's the good changeup right there by Buchholz. Best one he's thrown tonight so far.
Can struck out. Jones with a single. Still at first base. DJ Gregorius flying to right. Now 1-2 to Stephen Drew. 2-2. Cole Figueroa is called up on deck here for New York. Bats out of the 9 spot in his major league debut yesterday. Full count now, so Jones can get a start at first base. Buchholz working tonight under the watchful eye of Carl Willis, his pitching coach. Hoping that Clay can continue this great string of starts that he has put together. On the ground, softly left side with a shift on. Bogarts is just going to pick it up and go to second base, trying to get Jones a little overzealous and come around the bag at second, but he gets back. And it's an infield hit for Stephen Drew.
Yeah, Bogarts said basically all he could do there is hope that he catch the runner rounding too far around second base. You see where he's playing in the shift, just a little tap toward the third base side. And really no play at all except trying to go back and get that runner who had rounded second base, but not in time.
Two on, two down. Here is Cole Figueroa in his major league debut yesterday, going 2 for 4 as he takes strike one over the inside corner. Signed by the Yankees as a minor league free agent. That's with Jones at second, Drew at first, 2 down in the New York second inning. On the ground, right side. Napoli to the backhand, covering his Buchholz for the out. That ends the inning. So the Yankees strand a pair, but have a 1-0 lead after an inning and a half. Making the last play of last inning.
And one thing that has not suffered this season is the defense of Mike Napoli. Still very good over at first base. He's excellent at leading the pitches to the bag, and that time leading Clay Buchholz to the first base bag after making the backhanded play.
Well, Napoli will bat third in this bottom of the second inning as Hanley Ramirez leads it off. Ramirez, Pablo Sandoval, and Mike Napoli to face Michael Pineda. Gave up a 2-out base hit to Xander Bogaerts in the first, but then got Ortiz to ground out. And Ramirez back defensively in left field. 272, 18 homers, and 43 runs batted in. Chop back over Pineda. Charging is Stephen Drew. His throw in time to get Hanley Ramirez for the first out here of the second inning.
And they go fastball inside against Hanley. Then they go fastball away. And the result, a little tap to second base.
Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment. All season long, Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary in their 87th game of the 75 season. Red Sox beat the Rangers 7-5. Carl Yastrzemski went 5 for 5 with 2 doubles for the Red Sox.
Well, that'll bring Ravage up a little bit. 5 for 5.
That'll help. One out here for Pablo Sandoval. 267, 7 homers, and 29 runs batted in. Fouled off to the left out of play, up into the seats and into the top deck. Fouled off again down the left field line, out of play. Stanley, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox when you demand performance in action on the job site.
A changeup that time for Pineda. The changeup 90 miles an hour. Back to the slider.
Soft ground to right side. Stephen Drew throws out Sandoval, and there are 2 outs now in the second inning. Both 4-3 putouts, 2 down. Brings up Mike Napoli. Napoli with a couple of days off. Back in the Red Sox starting lineup. 192, 10 homers, and 30 runs batted in. Makes 12 home runs against the Yankees since joining the Red Sox in 2013. Tied with Evan Longoria for the most against the Yankees in that span. Working very hard with Chili Davis on the days in between his starts and trying to figure it out. Comes in with a 192 average. And truly, Jerry, if the Red Sox are going to do anything, they really do need Mike Napoli to be productive.
Well, that's the whole thing John Farrell was talking about. He says, you know, we can talk about David Ortiz at first for now, occasionally. He says, but over the long haul, we're going to need Napoli effective for us.
Lifts this down the right field line, foul and out of play.
And they've got him right now. Now that with 2 strikes, they'll take the shift off. They had it on. They'll put Drew back towards second base. But he's been working on going up the middle. You know, a lot of different things you work with between appearances in games with the batting coach. Working off a tee, soft toss. Just trying to get some rhythm.
And he gets hit. Coming in with 2 strikes and hits Napoli.
So they got Napoli right off the elbow.
Rick Jamison, the trainer, out there with John Farrell.
Fastball coming back in. Napoli puts that elbow out, or just maybe below the elbow on the forearm area.
Second batter that Pineda has hit this season. So Napoli at first base with 2 down here in the second inning, and brings up Alejandro De Aza. 255 average, 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. De Aza getting the nod in right field tonight. So Shane Victorino beginning the game on the bench for Boston. On the outside corner for a strike. .35 career games against the Yankees. De Aza with a .302 average. When he started the game, the Red Sox are 12-5. He's made pretty good contributions since joining the Red Sox, and we'll foul this one off 0-2.
Yeah, he's kind of solidified things a bit in the outfield, hasn't he? You know, defensively, he can cover quite a bit of ground. He's done a nice job offensively with some clutch base hits. You see the slugging percentage for De Aza since joining the Red Sox, 11th best in Major League Baseball against right-handed pitching.
Note coming from Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, will be joining us in a bit. 0-2 pitch. Close pitch, even closer than the one was called a strike earlier.
Yeah, very close. And I would say De Aza very fortunate to have another chance at it.
The one was a strike, 3 was a nod. Now slashing swing fouled off to the left out of play. Sandy Leon, number 9 man, waiting on deck. Mike Napoli hit by a pitch. 2 outs here in the second inning. At first, held on by Teixeira. So the numbers for De Aza in the last 13 games, and all in a Red Sox uniform. Late swing, and that's strike 3. Second strikeout for Pineda. Through 2, it is 1-0 New York. July 10th, 1945. Wartime travel restricted and forced MLB to cancel the 1945 All-Star Game scheduled for Fenway Park. Red Sox played the Braves in an exhibition as part of a league-wide fundraising initiative for the war effort. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. 1-0. Yankees have the lead over the Red Sox. Top of the third inning. Top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off, and a swing and a miss for strike 1. As joining us from the Boston Globe, Alex Spear provides us with so many great bullet points during the course of our game. And interesting series. A week ago or so, I may not have thought that this series may have not as meant as much as it now does for the Red Sox, but the Red Sox played some pretty good baseball to get here.
And the rest of the American League East has been very compliant with their good play in order to let them right back into the division. It is a pretty astounding thing that you can make up 5 games over the course of basically 3 weeks. That requires both you playing very well and everyone else not playing so well, especially in the last 10 games. You look at the Yankees having gotten 3 more games up in the division at a time when they've gone 5-5. Everyone else in the division, aside from the Red Sox, has gone 2-8 or worse in that span. So, interesting times.
What do you make of the American League East? I mean, it seemed to be pretty weak early on, and it seems like it really hasn't improved that greatly at this point of the year.
Right now, it's trending towards a division that no one's going to need 90 wins in order to win. It's the closest thing that we've seen in the last 30 or so years to it was in 2000 when the Yankees won with 87 games. And that's, that is not a very high bar to set. So it does open the door to a struggling Red Sox team to be able to kind of, if they can sustain a surge, that gives them a hope of contention.
And with 1 out, Brett Gardner batting here. He is headed to the All-Star game.
Alex, we talked about the Yankees in our open, and for a number of years they were not the Bronx Bombers anymore, but all of a sudden they are 3rd in the American League in home runs, and that's basically how they win baseball games, with their power.
It's interesting. You're finding a couple of teams that are really kind of focusing on just building around the long ball once again. It had kind of, the game had become more multidimensional. We're in an era when there's so many strikeouts that it's really, really difficult. So there's one.
Nice on cue.
Thank you. It's become really difficult to manufacture runs, to string hits together. You don't have the same number of extra base hits once you get balls, and you just have a difficult time sustaining rallies. So how do you score runs? Hit home runs. So getting a guy like Alex Rodriguez swinging from the heels has been certainly to the Yankees' benefit. And you see other teams like the Orioles, like the Oakland Athletics, building their lineups very much around power hitters at this point. And then there are the Royals who do the opposite and still are really good.
Well, the All-Star game right around the corner. Your thoughts on the voting process that took place this year and all the Royals that are headed to the All-Star game?
How big a metropolitan area is Kansas City?
Huge, as it turns out.
Yeah. I imagine that their wireless connections are unbelievable there. I don't know if they've manufactured with ethanol something that's spectacularly efficient in terms of being able to get online. But that is a kind of cool thing, though, when you think about it, because as downtrodden a baseball town as Kansas City had been, the fact that their fan base is re-energized in that fashion is kind of a cool thing. Now, that's not so cool for Xander Bogaerts as he watches Mike Moustakas get, I think that there's, I don't know, maybe they had town halls and stuff in order to have people voting for Moose in Kansas City. The Department of Transportation messages to vote for Xander evidently didn't carry quite the same heft around here.
So the bad news is not going to the All-Star game right now. The good news is he's having a terrific season.
He merits inclusion in the All-Star game, and playing at that level matters so much more than actually going there for a team. And even for him, he wanted badly to go there. This past offseason, he worked out at the Exos facility in Arizona, and they asked him to define 3 goals. One was more speed, one was more power, the more speed was also defense, and the third was make the All-Star team. He might fall short of that, but I asked him, are you still satisfied? And he said, absolutely.
This is to right field. De Aza coming in, diving, can't catch it. It's off the glove, but it doesn't get very far away. Able to keep it close to him, and it'll be a base hit for Alex Rodriguez, his 2nd hit of the night.
Now Rodriguez going to the opposite field. Red Sox outfielders diving all over the place here early in the game. Mookie Betts twice, and now De Aza almost coming up with a great play. Ball does tip the top of his glove, but then gets by him and gets on it quickly. Rodriguez has to stay at first base with the single.
2 down. A-Rod at first brings up Mark Teixeira.
The increased range that De Aza has brought to the outfield has obviously been a significant part. When you look at the turnaround of the Red Sox, the regular inclusion of De Aza in the lineup, especially against right-handed pitchers, has coincided very much with when the Red Sox started to play this fine baseball, and it's because he adds another offensive dimension against right-handed pitching, and then the defense, just the range and coverage has been really helpful to them at a time when they haven't always had Shane Victorino.
I guess it is technically a platoon right now between De Aza and Victorino, as this one is grounded foul.
Something close to that. They're obviously in a span of a ton of consecutive games against right-handed pitchers, and so they still want to be mindful of having Victorino get worked into the lineup regularly, and so he's going to get some starts against righties, as he has during this little run, but De Aza has become a really important member of the lineup, which has some interesting implications once Dustin Pedroia comes back and they try to figure out how everything fits together. They'll have a little bottleneck.
This is in the air to right down the line, but it is hooking foul. And that is a question mark, a big question mark, as to when Dustin Pedroia will return.
I guess the real question seems to be whether or not it's going to be in the next couple of days, or if they're going to take advantage of that off time for the All-Star break and let it be for the start of the second half. As well as they're playing with Holt at second base, that diminishes the need to rush Pedroia back for the benefit of one game in which he might be rusty, frankly.
Teixeira to right field. De Aza on the run, and he'll get there. Good running catch by De Aza to end the inning. Alex Spear, thanks as always.
Great to see you guys. Thanks very much.
Red Sox trail 1-0. De Aza to end last inning.
That's exactly what we were talking about with Alex. You know, the ground that he covers in the outfield, and the outfield right now, especially in right between he and Victorino, is covered very well.
It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NESSANDATAStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Tweet your photos now. Brought to you by T-Mobile. 1-1 to Sandy Leon, leading it off here for Boston in the bottom of the third inning. Leon at 174, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Pineda has been throwing hard, 95, 96 at times. Has 2 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, given up a hit and hit a batter. Has not walked anybody. Not a lot of walks overall in the year.
That's what we talked about earlier, the incredible 13 walks only on the season for Pineda. I mean, he's all over that strike zone.
Back at him and through into center field. Sandy Leon with a good start to the bottom of the third inning.
Well, they always shift on Sandy Leon, and that time he goes right up the middle and beats the shift. Gets the fastball that's going to be away a little bit and hooks it right back up the middle for the base hit. You can see where Gregorius is playing. I made a mistake earlier. I said Gregorius was up and down. That's not the case. He has not been up and down in the minor leagues this year. He's been consistently with the Yankees.
There is the top of the Red Sox order. Mookie Betts struck out swinging in the first inning. 1 of 2 Ks for Pineda tonight. That's after the first pitch. Pops it up right side of the infield. Stephen Drew, equidistant between first and second, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Ace Ticket has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 1 out, 1 on here in the third inning. And it brings up Brock Holt, grounded out to second base in the first inning. Fastball on the corner. Eight-game hitting streak coming into this action tonight for Brock Holt. On the ground up the middle into center field. Back-to-back base hits for Boston. As a Holt single here extends his hitting streak. And Holt now with a 9-game hitting streak.
At that time, it looks like a changeup that he gets from Pineda and takes that right back up the middle. So 2 hits in this inning. Nicely attacked by the Red Sox hitters. Leone up the middle and now Holt up the middle. Did a good job staying back on that off-speed pitch. Although, I must say, the off-speed pitch is about 90 miles an hour.
9-game hitting streak now for Brock at 324 along the way as Brian McCann out to talk to Pineda. So 2 on, 1 away, and Xander Bogaerts coming up. Center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury over towards right center as Xander had a single to left field in the first inning. Swing and a miss. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. 2 on, 1 out here in the Boston third inning. Late swing from Bogaerts, fouled off on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Leone at second, Holt at first with 1 out. On the ground towards short, Gregorius glove to glove for 1 out, on to first for 2 outs. Double play nicely turned by the Yankees in the end of the third inning. New York on top 1-0. Bank is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. A big double play turn there by New York to end the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, nice glove work, too, by Gregorius, the shortstop, as he'll play it right out of the glove. Of course, middle infielders generally use smaller gloves than first baseman or third baseman and have a little better control, as you can see him flip that ball right out of his glove. Two-handed by Drew at second base, and they get the double play.
Brian McCann leading it off. Struck out looking in the second inning. Clay Buchholz has 2 strikeouts on the night, and both have been called third strikes. There's a strike, and it evens at 1-1. And with 13 home runs on the year for New York. Red Sox shifting on the right side. Softly lined over Xander Bogaerts, knocked down out there by Holt in the shift, but a base hit for Brian McCann to begin things here in the fourth inning.
Now that time a cut fastball actually jammed McCann, but he's able to muscle the ball out over the head of Bogaerts. That certainly was not near the sweet spot of the bat, but Bogaerts will go up on the line drive, can't quite get there. Holt goes to the backhand, but he really had no chance of McCann at first base, even if he plays it clean from that position.
Lead runner on for New York for the first time in this game. As the Yankees bat here in the fourth inning. Here's Garrett Jones. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss for strike one. Jones singled to center field in the second inning. One of 5 total hits for New York.
The Red Sox again shifting in the infield with nobody out.
Jones reaching out, kind of lunging at that, gets a piece.
It's kind of interesting because any ground ball that would be hit to Sandoval, if something were to go in that direction, Bogaerts would have to become the second baseman and be the guy to turn a double play from a different angle than what he's normally accustomed to.
In there for strike 3. Good pitch there from Buchholz. It came back for him, and Jones becomes the third strikeout victim for Buchholz.
Exactly what he was trying to do, too. The two-seam fastball that starts out inside and comes back to get the corner. And this one barely getting the corner, but you see that late movement on it. That's why left-handed hitters give up on that pitch. They think it's going to be inside. It tails back.
1 on, 1 out. Didi Gregorius, the batter, as time called. Napoli letting Buchholz know he'll be standing behind McCann at first base. And that's important for Clay to know, because a lot of times he'll just go over to first base.
Exactly.
Breaking ball and a swing and a miss.
And they can do this because McCann's not going to run. And you get almost the same effect with Napoli playing just behind him, but what it does is it increases Napoli's range over there at first base.
Up and in, grabbing his attention.
Cut fastball that time from Buchholz, going upstairs. Just missing the elbow of Jones.
In the air to left center field. This could be trouble. It's headed towards the wall. It's going to one-hop the wall out there. From first base, McCann will be stopped on a double by Didi Gregorius at second and third with 1 out for the Yankees. Gapper out to left center field for Gregorius.
Yeah, Gregorius finding that the left center field gap, and anybody that could run a little bit, you score from first base on this, but it's going to be a second and third situation because McCann does not have good speed. And you see that big gap out there in left center field, and that's exactly where Gregorius goes with it. McCann chugging into third base, and he'll be held there. The Red Sox right now trying to figure out what to do with the infield. Xander Bogaerts questioning. He's in, and Holt is back a little bit less than double play down.
Drew to right down the line towards the pole, and that ball is going to be a foul ball. Out ahead of it was Stephen Drew. All the way down to first base as he took a good look down the line.
Now Drew gets the curveball right here from Buchholz, and right on top of it, that pitch kind of spinning in the middle of the strike zone. Drew out ahead of it and hits it foul. You see a loose contact with the baseball. That means it's a foul ball. Right there.
Wow, not by a lot.
Now the Red Sox go into the shift on the right side.
From where they're at, and with McCann running, I guess they still could come home.
Yeah, that's why they're back. There are two reasons. They're back a little bit because they don't want to give up 2 runs on a base hit in this situation, obviously. But the McCann at third base, who doesn't run well, that should be enough to hold him at third base.
And they are calling for the manager. I'm not sure if Clay hurt himself, but they did not. They are calling for the trainer as well. As Leon went out there, long conversation, then Leon turned and called for the manager. And Rick Jameson showing up here as well, the trainer. Robbie Ross is what he just said. He wants Ross. So apparently Buchholz not going to be able to continue. This came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I saw a couple of cut fastballs at 85 miles an hour, and that's not Buchholz. And I'm speculating right now, but we don't know what the injury is. But I know on a couple of cutters the velocity was not there. We'll see if we get word from the Red Sox clubhouse.
Well, the complexion of this one just changed in a hurry as Robbie Ross makes his way in here for the Red Sox. He'll get as long as he needs to get ready. The Yankees have a 1-0 lead. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Now back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox have Robbie Ross coming into the game here. The Yankees on top 1-0. Runners at second and third with one out. As Clay Buchholz leaves this game with an injury, responsible for the runners at second and third. Buchholz's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 3 1/3 tonight, 6 hits, 1 run so far. He is responsible for Gregorius at second and McCann at third. Not walk anybody, struck out 3, 59 pitches, 42 for strikes as we check in with Gary Streisky.
Guys, yeah, I guess with the immediacy of these developments, we certainly can't jump to any sort of conclusions, but it certainly is a head-scratcher. Clay Buchholz essentially taking himself out of this game with what appears to be an injury. Even more head-scratching because just 2 days ago, in fact, I was talking to him on the mound about how healthy he was, and he was raving about just how he was able to get through June, 4 wins in June. Piggyback that off with a complete game, so he was saying mentally this is the best he's felt all season. Physically, that's the best he's felt all season. You guys were touching on it before the game. All of his pitches were locating properly, all 4 of his main ones finding exactly where he wanted to place them. So this is certainly a bit of a head scratcher. Hopefully Clay's all right. We're going to wait till the Red Sox give us something, but I guess that's what we're dealing with right now.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. 1 out, second and third, and Stephen Drew with a ground ball to first base off the glove of Napoli. Stays with it and flips to first, but safe at first base is Drew. Never getting to the bag was Ross. And it started with a ball that clanked off the glove of Napoli and had a chance to recover, but Ross does not get to the bag entirely.
Now Napoli going to the backhand, and you'll see it deflect right off the heel of the glove right there. He looks at third base. The runner is not going. And then the sidearm flip to first, but Ross, who had to reach back to make that play on the flip, then couldn't find the bag. And never really did make contact with the first base bag, but the run from third did not score.
They charge Napoli with an error. Loads the bases with 1 out. Cole Figueroa, the batter. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia. And Robbie Ross into the game. His 23rd appearance, 4.13 earned run average. 19 strikeouts, 11 walks. There's a foul off to the left out of play. They've charged Robbie Ross with the error on that play. I don't really understand how. No 2 to Figueroa. That is outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
Buchholz in a strange position right now. He's in between infield and double play depth. So if he gets a ground ball that's hit hard to him, he'll go for 2. If not, he'll come home for the force out.
Figueroa made his major league debut yesterday. 2 hits in the ball game against the A's. Part of a win for the Yankees. That's with McCann at third, Gregorius at second, Drew at first, 1 down. Two and two. Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury waiting on deck. Fouled at the dish.
And of course, the call goes to a left-hander because of all these left-handers in the lineup tonight for the Yankees. That's why Ross in the game at this point.
Ross pitched on Wednesday against Miami. First time he had pitched since July the 1st at Toronto. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3. Bases filled with the Yankees, 1 down. And Figueroa stays alive. You'll see a 9th pitch.
That's a tough foul off right there. 3-2 count, gets the breaking ball and is able to foul it off to see another pitch. Slider on the outside part of the plate.
Figueroa, a little pop-up, and Holt from second makes the catch and acrobatically jumps over the runner at second and Didi Gregorius. 2 down in the inning.
Nice play by Brock Holt. At first I thought he was going to make the catch and step on the bag, but he had to make the catch and get out of the way of Didi Gregorius, who was going back in head first. It's good heads-up base running also by the Yankee shortstop to get back there, reading that bloop was probably going to be caught. And a nice play by Holt, concentration on the baseball, then leaping over the runner.
So a big out there, 2 down in the inning. And now Jacoby Ellsbury with the bases loaded here for New York. And a late swing there. 0 for 2 against Buchholz was Ellsbury, flying out to center and grounding out to short. It's McCann at third, Gregorius at second, and Drew at first. In the air, foul, and it's 0-2. Career of the bases loaded for Jacoby Ellsbury, an even 300. Bobby Ross ahead of him, 0-2. Outside, ball 1.
That's why you have to be careful, because you want to throw a breaking ball and you want to throw it not for a strike, and you have to have confidence in your catcher with that man at third base.
On the ground right side, Brock Holt with a bobble goes to first. It'll be late, run scores. Miscue by Holt at second base as Ross almost out of the jam unscathed. Run scores. It'll be charged to Buchholz, and it's 2-0 New York.
Now Brock Holt picking up his 6th error of the season. Looked like he backed up a step, and once that happens and you bobble a ball, a guy like Jacoby Ellsbury is going to be safe. That ball bounced up, hit him in the heel of the glove. You can see Brock going to his right, kind of leaning back a little bit, and the ball just kind of eats him up right there. And once that happens, you're not going to get Ellsbury at first base.
So the bases reloaded here. Second error of the inning, charged to the Red Sox. And Brett Gardner now has a chance. He has popped out to short and struck out looking. .338 with the bases loaded for Brett Gardner in his career. 2 grand slams. 1 for 4 this year in that category. Gregorius now at third, Drew at second, and Ellsbury at first base. 2 down in the 4th inning. Two and 0. Alex Rodriguez, who has homered in this game and singled, waits on deck. 3-0, and no place to put Brett Gardner.
And didn't want to give in that time with a fastball. Stays with the breaking ball, and now behind 3 balls and no strikes with the bases loaded.
There's a strike right on the corner. 3-1.
Still a good hitting spot for Gardner. He only on the 3-1 count with the bases loaded. There's the last pitch, just catching the inside corner.
On the ground, Napoli sprawling to get it. Ross will not get there in time. Run scores. 3-0 New York. Beating it out at first base, Brett Gardner.
Well, we talked that the speed is at the top of this lineup, and Jacoby Ellsbury and Brett Gardner. And Brett Gardner just showed you the kind of speed that he has. It's a very good play by Napoli diving. Then the underhand flip to first base, and Gardner with the head first slide beats it out. Napoli having a little bit of trouble getting that ball out of his glove. But you see the slide by Gardner. He beats it clearly.
So a 3-0 Yankees lead, and now Alex Rodriguez coming up. Down and in for ball one. Michael Pineda watching all this take place. 2 additional runs here for New York so far. And the top of the 4th inning gives the Yankees a 3-0 lead. As A-Rod will take ball 2, 2-0.
And 2 fastballs there that were not even tempting for Rodriguez. Back in the first inning, it was a changeup from Clay Buchholz that stayed up in the zone, and Rodriguez out of the park. Home run number 17 on the season.
Up and in on the fastball, 3-1. 671 for Alex Rodriguez. Of course, he had tied Willie Mays here at 660 earlier this season in the first visit of the year for the Yankees. This one popped up foul off to the right. Bases filled with the Yankees. 2 outs in the inning. Everybody would be in motion here in the full count. That's ball 4, and here comes another run from third base. Stephen Drew scores, and it's 4-0 New York. A bases loaded walk for Alex Rodriguez, who's on for the 3rd time in this game.
When he needed a strike or he wanted a strike, he goes to the breaking ball, and that last one on the 3-2 count, not even close. 3-2 count was not going to give Rodriguez a fastball to work with. He gives him the breaking ball, and it really didn't do anything but stay outside. Sloppy inning for the Red Sox.
Four to nothing New York on top. 2 down in the inning. Teixeira becomes the 9th member of the Yankees to bat in the inning, and he will turn around and bat from the right side with the left-handed Robbie Ross in this game. Teixeira against Buchholz, lined out to third and flied out to the warning track in right. Now he hits a fly ball to left field. Bogart's backpedaling to make the catch that ends the inning, but the damage done. New York scores 3 times in the inning. Yankees take a 4-0 lead. Helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/good things happen. Well, good things did not happen in that last inning for the Red Sox, Jerry. It was not pretty for Boston.
No, it was not. And first of all, Buchholz leaving the game. We still don't know why he left the ball game, but after throwing a pitch, Farrell came out. Out comes Buchholz, in comes Ross, and then things got sloppy for the Red Sox. The ground ball to Napoli that goes off his glove. The shuffle pass to first base. No tag in the bag. And then a ground ball to Buchholz that comes up on him. Ellsbury going down the line could not get him. And Gardner beating out a ground ball. And Napoli actually made a good play on that time. But Gardner with too much speed.
Well, David Ortiz trying to get some back here for the Red Sox. Fouls it down the left field line out of play. Nearly a 28-minute wait for Michael Pineda, as his team now has a 4-0 advantage. Ended up making a scoring change on that play. Napoli does get the error at first base. A swing and a miss. They had initially given it to Robbie Ross, the pitcher. Ortiz grounded out to first base in the first inning, 0 for 1. And followed by Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval here in the fourth inning. Work to do for the Red Sox. And a swing and a miss. Ortiz strikes out. That's a third K for Pineda.
Pineda again all over that strike zone. This time throwing the breaking ball down to David Ortiz once he's ahead of him to pick up the strikeout. There's the slider spinning up the home plate, actually down and out of the strike zone below the knees. But Ortiz chases it, and a quick out here in the fourth.
So one down here in the fourth inning for Hanley Ramirez. Well, join the 2020 Club and enjoy an affordable fun night at Fenway Park. Groups of 20 or more start at $20 each. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Harris fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden lights are flashing all over the ballpark. Upper deck. In the luxury boxes.
Ramirez fouls it off down the right field line out of play. Strike three call. Hanley knew it. Takes with him the fourth strikeout for Pineda, who's got back-to-back Ks here in the fourth inning.
The last time he got him on a fastball away, a tap to second base. This time he comes back inside with two strikes to get Ramirez. No argument from Hanley as that ball's right on the corner.
Two down here in the fourth inning, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval. To left field, and Sandoval's got himself a two-out base hit. Fourth hit of the night for the Red Sox, the first for Sandoval.
Now that might be the approach to have against Pineda, the aggressive approach, because as we said a number of times, it just doesn't walk people. First pitch fastball right here to Sandoval, and he takes it to left field for the two-out base hit. Drops it in front of Brett Gardner out there in left.
So two down, Sandoval at first base, and here's Mike Napoli. Hit by a pitch in the second inning by Pineda. Swing and a miss for strike one. He's jumping on that first pitch. Fouled back, 0-2. Well, slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play. Napoli to left for a base hit. Up to second base goes Sandoval. Red Sox have something going here with 2 down in the inning.
A mistake right there by Pineda, and Napoli jumps on it. An 0-2 pitch that gets too much of the plate. It's a slider, and he gets it right down the middle of the plate. Napoli able to pull that ball. You can see him choke up on the bat a little bit with 2 strikes on him. Trying to get a little bit of bat control in that situation, and that time he does, as he picks up the base hit.
Pineda had struck out Ortiz and Ramirez to begin the inning, but singles by Sandoval and Napoli. They have 2 on with 2 down for Alejandro De Aza. He struck out swinging in the second inning, 0 for 1. Well, Wednesday, don't miss a AA All-Star game in Portland, Maine. TC and Mike Antonellis will have all the action for you. 5 members of the Portland Sea Dogs have been selected to the team. Eastern League All-Star Classic begins Wednesday at 7, presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. 2 down runners at first and second. Alejandro De Aza takes the 1-0 for strike one, the top of the zone.
That's 3 straight sliders now for Pineda. 1 to Napoli, who got a base hit. Then he missed with 1. Right back to it again to get a strike.
Pineda's 6'7", 260 pounds. He's coming over from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for Jesus Montero and Hector Noesi. It's 1 fouled back, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. He was 5-5 last year in 13 starts, a 1.89 earned run average. Swing and a miss, and De Aza strikes out. Red Sox strand a pair. Pineda ends up striking out the side. 4-0 New York. 1999. Pedro Martinez struck out 17 Yankees in a complete game 3-1 win. Pedro's only hit was allowed to Chili Davis, the Red Sox current hitting coach. A home run off Chili Davis. And Jerry, I remember talking to you about this afterwards. You felt this was every bit as good as a no-hitter you had seen.
In my opinion, Don, that's the best game I've ever seen pitched. And I've been behind no-hitters, been part of no-hitters on the other side of them.
Now Clay Buchholz, we've just been told leaving with right elbow tightness was the reason for tonight's departure.
Yeah, I didn't want to speculate on that, but I noticed a couple of his cut fastballs, as I mentioned, were about 85 miles an hour, and that's certainly not where he is usually in that range. But getting back to that Pedro moment, that was, of course, at Yankee Stadium, and I've seen a lot of great pitch games, seen a lot of no-hitters, but I don't think I've ever seen a game as good as that. He just absolutely dominated an excellent lineup.
I was going to say it was a very good lineup, and Chili was in it. Had himself a home run that night, and that was it.
After the Chili Davis home run, it was all over. It really was for the rest of the Yankees.
30th pitch of relief for Ross and a strikeout for McCann to open up this 5th inning. Mink Insurance, great service, great coverage, and great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
And that time staying with the fastball away and chasing it is McCann for the strikeout.
There's a check swing foul off the bat of Garrett Jones, who has singled and struck out. On the outside corner, 0-2.
Two strikes. They move back out of the shift.
Yank that away. A ball and 2 strikes. Nobody warming in the pen behind Ross. Hope he can go a while here as he comes in relief of Clay Buchholz in the 4th inning. Got 2 outs in the 4th. First out here of the 5th. One-two pitch on the ground right side. Brock Holt on the hop will go to first base. 2 down. No reports from Hall of Fame weekend. Saturday and Sunday, July 25th and 26th. And the number retirement ceremony here at Fenway Park. On Tuesday, July 28th at 5:30 on NESN. It will be a lot of fun. See Pedro Martinez going into the Hall of Fame and his number to be retired up there with other Red Sox icons.
What a great night that's going to be here at Fenway Park, and what a great day it's going to be when Pedro gets into the Hall.
D.D. Gregorius batting with 2 down as the pitch is in there for a strike.
I think Leon got crossed up on that. He got a fastball, and I think he might have been expecting a breaking ball, and very unusual to get crossed up with nobody at second base. See that late reaction by Sandy Leon right there.
Very defensively catching that ball. Yeah. It's got to be a bad feeling as a catcher.
Well, especially when you get a breaking ball and you get the fastball.
Gregorius with a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. He doubled his last time up. Gapper to left center field. He would score the 3rd Yankees run. Lead swing and a foul ball into the seats. Wednesday, don't miss AA All-Star Game in Portland, Maine. TC and Mike Antonellis will have all the action for you. 5 members of the Portland Sea Dogs have been selected to the team. Eastern League All-Star Classic begins Wednesday at 7, presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Back past the glove of Ross to short. Bogarts throws on the run and in time to retire the side. Halfway through, it's 4-0 New York. Congress, EchoStore is proud to ensure that individuals with Down syndrome feel valued. To learn more, visit EchoStore.com. EchoStore Technologies, your data center solutions provider.
On the fourth inning, Pineda with 3 strikeouts and a couple of base hits. It was like a look at the strikeouts. It's going to be a slider right there to David Ortiz. A fastball inside to Hanley Ramirez. And then a breaking ball to De Aza for the strikeouts. Sandoval and Napoli had base hits in that inning, but 3 strikeouts for Pineda in that inning.
Sandy Leon leading it off here in the 5th inning. Single to center field in the 3rd. 1 for 1. Leon now 4 for his last 8. Top of the order, Mookie Betts, then Buchholz. Fly ball center field. Ellsbury going back to make the catch onto the warning track for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning.
It's the second time Leon's hit the ball pretty well in this game. First time was a base hit in the 3rd, but this time Jacoby Ellsbury tracks it down.
Foxwoods' $25 million Summer of Dreams giveaway is in full swing. Dream big and dream often to win your share of cash and prizes this summer. Foxwoods, the official casino and resort of the Boston Red Sox. Visit foxwoods.com to learn more. 1 out in the 5th inning for Mookie Betts. He struck out, popped out, 0 for 2. Pineda's been very good tonight. 5 strikeouts, not walked anybody so far. High drive, deep left field. Mookie Betts driving this one into the monster seats. 10th home run of the year for Mookie Betts gets the Red Sox on the board. It's now 4-1 New York.
Breaking ball this time. They wanted to go away. It stays inside, middle in. And you can see it kind of just spin up the home plate, and Betts all over it for the home run. For Pineda, that is the 10th home run he's allowed this season. For Betts, also his 10th home run.
Now Buchholz taking a first pitch strike. Red Sox getting on the board. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Lays off a pitch that is a little bit low.
See him set up away, but that ball stays in, and Pineda knows it right away that he made a mistake with location, and Betts made him pay.
First home run in 29 at bats for Mookie Betts. Ground ball by the mound. Drew slides over, and the throw in time to get Buchholz for the second out of the inning. Playing second base for the Yankees and playing it well. 2 down. Red Sox suites and premium packages provide a VIP experience for you and your guests. Call 877 Red Sox 9 or email premiumsales@redsox.com for more information. 2 down for Xander Bogaerts. 1 for 2 in the game. He is singled to left and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Rolls it over foul for strike 1. Oh, and 2.
That's a little bit more like the slider that he's been throwing most of the game, keeping it down and many occasions out of the strike zone.
Flips it foul off to the right out of play. Swing and a miss on a fastball elevated. 6 strikeout for Pineda. Home run by Betts gets the Red Sox on the board. Escape, a Can-Am Spider, $5,000 in cash, or other great instant prizes. Visit a participating Irving Oil and IrvingFun.com for details. Mookie Betts getting the Red Sox on the board with a home run. 4-1. Yankees have the lead as we play into the 6th inning. And Stephen Drew set to lead it off here against Robbie Ross. Ross has been in this game since the 4th inning. If you're just joining us, Clay Buchholz, the starting pitcher tonight for the Red Sox, who only went 3 1/3, leaving the game with right elbow tightness. Drew takes ball 1. On the ground to Holt, his counterpart at second base, for the first out here of the 6th inning. That's 5 in a row now retired by Robbie Ross. You can still get your baseball fix on NESN next week, even though the Red Sox are on the All-Star break. Thursday night, catch minor league action as the Pawtucket Red Sox visit the Durham Bulls. Coverage begins at 7. Drag bunt down the first baseline. Ross will flip to first for the out. Nice fancy footwork there by Mike Napoli.
Yeah, 2 pretty nice plays, I think, right there. First of all, by Ross to get to that. I think he wanted to tag the runner going to first base, but it was too late for that, as Figueroa was by him. So then he's got to flip the ball sideways, and Napoli coming across the bag makes a nice adjustment to catch that flip from Ross.
Two down, Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. Ellsbury flying out to center, grounding to short, reaching on a miscue last time up. Red Sox making a couple in the 4th inning, part of a 3-run 4th inning for New York. Error for Napoli, error for Holt.
Couple of quick outs of this inning, and Ellsbury just taking a pitch there, faking a bunt. Give his pitcher a little bit more time in that dugout.
On the corner, finds himself down 0-2. And hit at 66 pitches through the first 5 innings. Giving up his first run of his outing in the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox have further action in the pen. Craig Breslow up in the pen, the left-hander. Two balls, 2 strikes. Season high for Ross in pitches is 49, right now at 46. Swing and a miss, elevates and strikes out Ellsbury. Nice job by Ross. 5.5 done. 4-1 New York. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Bottom of the 6th inning back at Fenway Park. 4-1. Yankees on top of the Red Sox. David Ortiz, Hanley Ramirez, Pablo Sandoval scheduled to face Michael Pineda at 66 pitches through the first 5 innings. Allowed his first run of the ball game in the 5th on the home run by Mookie Betts. 3rd time Ortiz has faced Pineda tonight. David 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first base, and last time up struck out swinging. Strike 1. And 70 pitches now for Pineda. Shift on here for New York on the right side. Outfield straightaway and pretty deep. Into the shift as Drew will throw it to Teixeira covering. Teixeira first went after, then decided he would retreat to the bag at first. He was headed right for Drew, so 4-3 on the putout of David Ortiz. Michael Pineda's pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run. Hasn't walked anybody, struck out 6, 71 pitches, 55 of the 71 for strikes at 77%. Hanley Ramirez 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second, struck out looking. Strike 1.
First time tonight that Hanley Ramirez has ever faced Pineda. 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Up the middle off the glove of Pineda. Drew has time and throws out Hanley Ramirez. I believe that'll go 1 to 4 to 3. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and to pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. 2 outs in the 6th inning, 4 in a row retired by Pineda. Pablo Sandoval singled his last time up, singled to left field. 1 for 2 night. The one problem you have, Jerry, the longer the Red Sox aren't able to get back into this game, you get into the tail end of this game, and one of the strengths of this Yankees team is the back end of their bullpen.
Yeah, we kind of hit on that in the open a little bit, where, you know, the power of this Yankee team, obviously, and in the back of the bullpen, very, very strong. Betances, Andrew Miller, who was back active. And Pineda shot tonight. Made that one mistake to Mookie Betts on a breaking ball, a hanging breaking ball. It's always good when you don't get much contact out of the bullpen guys.
Dylan Betances. One-two pitch. Sandoval to left field. Gardner on the run. Gardner will make the running catch out in left center field. A lot of speed out there between Ellsbury and Gardner runs it down. 4-1 New York. He asked, is the Red Sox-Yankees your favorite Boston sports rivalry? And 80% said yes. Seven in a row retired by Robbie Ross, who is back on the mound here for the Red Sox. He's been in this game since the fourth inning and out there to begin things here in the seventh against another lefty in Gardner, who takes strike one. Gardner has popped a short, struck out, and an infield hit and an RBI. And Gardner just made a good running catch out in left center field to end last inning and rob Pablo Sandoval of a hit. He'll be going to the All-Star game. What a good year for Brett Gardner. 10 homers, 41 RBIs. Came in hitting at .303. Alex Rodriguez, then Mark Teixeira expected to bat in the inning. Ground ball towards Holt at second base. Throws out Gardner, had to hurry up. Looked up and saw Gardner coming down that line. On a ground ball to second base, no doubt. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Eck will break down the game, and you'll hear from John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason?
And that last ground ball, Brock Holt going down to one knee, and then by the time he got up, Gardner was really getting it down the line, wasn't he?
Looked up and he was almost there.
Yeah.
Well, he gets Gardner for the first out of the inning. Alex Rodriguez has been on base 3 times in this game tonight. And a swing and a miss for strike one. A-Rod with a home run in the first inning, single to right in the third, walked in the fourth inning. Foul back, 1-2. So before Buchholz left with the right elbow tightness, he allowed 3 runs in 3 1/3, 1 earned. Robbie Ross has given up a run that is unearned since coming in. By the way, this is the most pitches thrown by Ross in a relief outing in his career. There's 55, and it is popped up foul ground. Napoli by the dugout, can't make the catch. Went into the slide, got a glove on it, and off the glove for Napoli.
Yeah, one that we usually see Napoli catch. He goes into the slide and right off the heel of the glove, right there, right off the big section of the glove. Probably one that he could have stayed on his feet heading toward the fence.
So another chance for Alex Rodriguez as a result. 1-2 pitch is high, and it's 2-2. Well, Alex Rodriguez getting his 3,000th hit. Justin Verlander serving it up, and it was a home run. Mark Jeter's 3,000th hit was a home run, as was Wade Boggs. In recent history is A-Rod tonight with 2 hits. Mark Teixeira waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. Rising fastball there. It's time now for Game Break, brought to you by Jordan's. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. Here it is 4-1. Yankees have the lead over the Red Sox. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Mark Teixeira again batting from the right side against the left-hander. And Robbie Ross has been very effective here for the Red Sox in relief. He's now retired 9 Yankees in a row. High strike call. Teixeira 0 for 3 in this game. He's lined out to third, flied out to right field, and popped out to short. Craig Breslow has now been joined by Matt Barnes. A little bloop into right field that's going to fall in for a hit. So a 2-out single for Teixeira, first time he's been on tonight.
Average-wise, the right side of the plate, the weakest side for Teixeira. And certainly power-wise also. That time just blooping the ball into right field to pick up the hit. So keeps the Red Sox away from the 1-2-3 inning. Fastball away from Teixeira that time. Drops it easily in front of De Aza.
And McCann taking strike one. He has struck out twice, single to right. Strike two. Shifting are the Red Sox here on the right side of the infield on McCann. Fouled off to the left, and we'll do it again. 0-2.
Another shift in the infield now. Sandoval moves into that second base spot where Bogarts was. Seen the Red Sox do that a number of times tonight once they get to 2 strikes in the shift.
Now bounce in, nicely blocked there by Leon. No advance at first for Teixeira.
That ball bouncing well out in front of the plate right there, and a nice job, as you can see that Leon does not try to catch that ball, just block it. He's able to block it right in front of him, so no advance.
Check swing goes around the home plate umpire, ringing him up. As Ted Barrett said he offered, that's strike 3 in the end of the top of the 7th. It's a 4-1 Yankees lead. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. The Kia Sorrento. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Well, back at Fenway, where tonight's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Pineda so far 6 innings, 1 earned run, the home run by Mookie Betts. Alex Rodriguez 2 for 3, including his 17th home run of the year. Buchholz leaving the game in the 4th inning with right elbow tightness. And again, the only run for the Red Sox tonight. Betts with his 10th home run of the year. That was in the 5th inning. Now play into the bottom of the 7th inning. Defensive change for New York. Chris Young takes over in right field for Garrett Jones. Pineda back on the mound. Relatively low pitch count. And he deals with Napoli, De Aza, and Leon. Left-hander up in the pen is Justin Wilson. Napoli has been on twice tonight, hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, then singled to left field in the 4th inning. Pineda's been around 76, 77% strike zone in this game. Popped up, drew the second baseman, headed out, and will make the catch. Thought about over the shoulder, ends up reaching up to grab that ball, and he had his back to the plate for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Stephen Drew never really looked like he had control of this, but does end up making the catch as it hits the finger first and then into the pocket of the glove. For a second, I thought that ball might drop in, but Drew's able to make a decent play, very decent play out of it.
One down here in the 7th inning. Alejandro De Aza has struck out twice against Pineda tonight, both times swinging. Well, it's just Matt Barnes now up alone in the pen. Breslow had been warming up alongside for a while. Now just Barnes. And very good job tonight by Robbie Ross. 69 pitches out of the pen for Ross. As he came in the 4th inning, and a 1-2-3 5th, a 1-2-3 6th, 2 outs in the 7th before he gave up a base hit to Teixeira and then struck out McCann. There's a bunt bid. Pineda trying to barehand it. Now he fires it away. Down by the tarp. De Aza's going to try for 2, and he will get to second base. So Pineda, when he finally grabs it, throws it away.
Yeah, Pineda might have been better off going down with his glove than his bare hand that time, or letting his third baseman Figueroa take it. He never gets control of it in the hand, and then he just fires at the first base way off the mark. So the Red Sox trying to generate something somehow, and that time De Aza with the bunt and then the throwaway at first base.
So it is a single and an error charge to Pineda on the throw. De Aza at second base with 1 down, and Sandy Leon the batter. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Single in the 3rd, flied out to center in the 5th. See if that bunt throws off the game of Pineda here, who's been very good through the first 6+ innings. Two and 0.
Anything to take him out of his comfort zone, which he's been in basically the whole game.
Aza gets his walking lead off second base, keeping him close. Gregorius in behind him. Leon taking the strike, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, no fastball that time on the 2-0 count. Back to the slider. Leone thinking fastball, 2 balls, no strikes, but no, the breaking ball.
In there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Here's a changeup, and that's the slowest one he's thrown tonight, and that was 87. Most of them have been about 90, 91.
Swinging a ball that gets away, saying it's a foul tip. So having to go back to second base would be De Aza. He was at third and now headed back to second base. Leone got a piece.
And just barely, you can see that ball down, and just you can see it change directions as it hits right at the top of his bat.
On the ground to first base, a hop that jumped up on Teixeira, but he cleanly takes it to first base for the out. Taking third is De Aza. Teixeira, very good defensive first baseman, handled that. As Joe Girardi coming out to make the change. So Pineda getting 2 outs in the 7th inning, but that's the game for him, responsible for De Aza at third base.
One, obviously, the home run by Rodriguez early in the ball game, a changeup from Buchholz. It's a good curveball for a strikeout. Fastball for a strikeout to Brett Gardner. Another 2-seam fastball, but then of course he had to leave the game with a sore right shoulder and elbow. So we don't know how serious that is. We can only hope it's just soreness.
Pineda leaves after 6 2/3 innings. Now 7 hits to the Red Sox. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 6.
Pineda was on target tonight in this game. We'll go back to the 4th inning where he had 3 strikeouts. He got David Ortiz on a breaking ball. He gets Ramirez on a fastball inside, and De Aza on a slider. And the only run he gave up was the Mookie Betts home run on a slider that stayed in. And Mookie took it out for his 10th of the season. Other than that, a very good night for Pineda.
Now Justin Wilson into the game. The Yankees acquiring him from the Pirates in exchange for Francisco Cervelli in November this last offseason. 41st appearance, 2-0 with a 2.87 earned run average, 29 strikeouts, 14 walks, and opponent sitting at 170 against Wilson, who comes in with 2 outs in the 7th inning and a base runner at third. Comes in to face Mookie Betts, who struck out, popped out, and saw his home run back in the 5th. 10th home run of the year for Betts. Strike 1 at the top of the zone. Able to strand 77% of inherited base runners. Bounces that one in, 1-1.
Curious move by Girardi going to the left-hander with Betts at the plate.
And after only 89 pitches for Michael Pineda.
Yeah, I thought he'd go at least one more hitter and then maybe go to the left-hander if he reached to get Holt. A lot of fastballs.
For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Two down, De Aza at third base. Mookie Betts waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off to the right, out of play.
He's throwing 95 miles an hour. That's around the area where Pineda was. 94, 95. Justin Wilson, 95 with his fastball.
Well, Barnes has now been joined by Tazawa. That's fouls back another. And it hangs here 1-2 to Mookie. Cole waiting on deck. Another one fouled back right down the middle at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, a lot of pitches down the middle to Mookie Betts in this at bat. Pretty much over the top fastballs. They wanted to go away. It stays middle. And Betts fouls it off.
Diaz at third, 2 down. 1-2 pitch coming. And it is cleaned out, foul. Swing and a miss, and Betts ends up striking out on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to end the inning. We head to the 8th, 4-1 New York. Rodriguez. Rodriguez Sunday against Houston, no decision, 5 innings, 6 hits, no runs. He struck out 8. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web Selection Expertise Solutions. More at FWWeb.com. Now the Red Sox trailing the Yankees 4-1 as we head to the 8th inning. The pitcher for the Red Sox, Matt Barnes, into the game. Third arm used by Boston. 21st appearance, 3-2. The 5.24 earned run average. 22 strikeouts, 7 walks. And opponents hitting at .343 against Barnes. He allowed a run on 2 hits and a solo home run in the 8th inning Wednesday. A win over Miami. He's allowed runs in 6 of his last 8 games. And 10 earned runs in his last 8 1/3. Chris Young getting his first at bat of the night. Took over defensively an inning ago in right for Garrett Jones, and here he is at the plate. We talked about the 8th inning and the 9th inning for the Yankees, and the 8th inning getting warmed up in Dylan Betances. Swing and a miss, couldn't hold up. Young goes around. Didi Gregorius waiting on deck. Yanked it outside and away, 3-1. Strike call. A little borderline call right there. Full count now.
Yeah, so far everything away from Chris Young too. And that long pitch, maybe a little bit of a gift there for Barnes.
Low for ball 4, and Barnes walks the leadoff man here in the 8th. But get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 in the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. There's the second walk allowed by Red Sox pitching tonight.
Let's see how the Yankees play this now. See if they sacrifice, try to get a man in a scoring position. Lefty at the plate right now, and Didi Gregorius.
On the first, and back to the bag is Young.
Sandoval in close at third base. Young's got some speed, 3 steals. Not been caught.
Line down the right field line, foul. Well, tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, Jamison Coyle and Nicky Reyes will have an update on the latest player to join the Bruins. That's tonight on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Lead runner on here for New York, and a check on that runner at first base. Again, Young back to the bag.
There's a few options here for Joe Girardi. I mean, we have not seen the sacrifice attempt. We could see a hit and run. We could see a straight out steal.
Foul back, 1-2. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for its commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. Craig Breslow warms in the Red Sox pen. He'd been up earlier, back up again. On the ground foul outside of first, and then we'll do it again, 1-2. Robbie Ross ended up going 3 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Walker batter struck out 4 through 69 pitches of relief here tonight. Inside, and Gregorius gets hit on the arm, a hit batsman. So the first 2 have reached here, and a walk and a hit batter to begin things in the 8th inning for New York.
Just barely getting a piece right there on the equipment part, as you can see, of the elbow. And John Farrell making his way to the mound, and he's going to go to Breslow.
We'll have reports from Hall of Fame weekend, Saturday and Sunday, July 25th and 26th. The number retirement ceremony, live coverage Tuesday, July the 28th, 5:30, and it's all on NESN. So Barnes leaving after a walk and a hit batter in this 8th inning. Not the way they wanted to do this, and the Yankees have the first 2 men on. Breslow will be coming up. Looks like he'll be facing a pinch hitter. We'll see. As Breslow's 25th appearance, without a record of 4.15 earned run average, 30 1/3 innings, 22 strikeouts, 12 walks, and opponents hitting at .286 against Craig Breslow. Allowed 1 run in an inning and a third on Friday. Game 1 of the series against Houston. Stranded 2 inherited runners in the 7th and 8th. Now the upcoming schedule for the Red Sox. Tomorrow's game will be on Fox, a night game here from Fenway Park. We're back with you on Sunday at 1:30. Then the All-Star break, with the Red Sox starting the unofficial second half of the year on the left coast, with 4 games against the Angels, who've been playing pretty good baseball, and then 3 against the West Division leading Houston Astros before the Red Sox finally come home on July 24th to take on the Detroit Tigers in that first series back home again. So the Red Sox on their second trip out west coming up. And as I mentioned, the Angels, they've played very good baseball lately and have gotten within a game and a half now of the Astros.
Yeah, they've made a nice little run on Houston over the last week or so. Red Sox had made a nice little run too and hope to continue that, but right now 4-1 late in the ball game as Breslow gets ready.
It is still Stephen Drew, so no pinch hitter here. Drew coming up with 2 on, nobody out.
Well, there was no bunt last time. Let's see what they do with Drew with runners at first and second. Lefty against lefty. Drew with a couple of sacrifices on the year too.
Does get the bunt down. Leon's going to third for the force out there. And they do get Young. So a nice aggressive play there by Leon, jumping out. The bunt didn't go very far, right in front of the plate.
Heads up, very quick play by Leone as Drew's bunt just doesn't even get off the dirt. And that play right in front of him. Now look at that slide coming in at third base by Chris Young. Kind of hooks the ankle of Pablo Sandoval, who's thinking about going to first base. That's like a guy getting taken out at second base on a double play. Sandoval congratulating his catcher Leone on a nice throw to third base.
2 on, 1 out, and Cole Figueroa, the batter. 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out, popped out, grounded out again. There's a pop-up. Breslow wants it, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning.
All right, I like it. Nobody else could get there anyway. It had to be Breslow. See where Sandoval is, where Napoli is, and Breslow, that ball not hit very high at all, so he just calls everybody off and makes a catch like it was batting practice.
So 2 down in the inning. Infield fly rule is in effect as well there, as Jacoby Ellsbury now bats 0 for 4 in the game. Line to center and in for a base hit. Around from second comes Gregorius. The throw is going to hit the back of the mound and change direction. A run in for New York as the Yankees take a 5-1 lead. Jacoby Ellsbury driving in a run.
Big base hit by Ellsbury there, driving in the run with 2 outs. Doesn't wait around. Jumps on the first pitch from Breslow. And the line shot in front of Betts. Betts with the throw, but it's once again going to hit the mound and bounce straight up.
He's now 6 for 10 against Breslow.
There's Mookie getting ready to make that play. Now watch the throw hit the mound and boom, straight up in the air. And once that happens, no chance at home plate.
Comes Carl Willis. The run is charged to Barnes, who is still responsible for the runner at second base. So Barnes charged with a run, did not record an out. As Masterson now up for Boston in the pen. Betances has been joined now by former Red Sox left-hander Chris Capuano, as this has now become a 4-run Yankee lead on top 5-1 with 2 outs in the inning. And Brett Gardner coming up. Gardner has popped to short, struck out looking, reached on an infield hit, picked up an RBI, and rounded out to second base last time up. Now he takes strike 1 on the breaking ball. 3 for 11 in his career against Breslow. 2 home runs against Breslow of those 3 hits. Strike 2.
Red Sox shift around in the outfield a little bit, but more toward the opposite field now with 2 strikes on Gardner.
Alex Rodriguez waiting on deck. Yankees batting here in the top of the 8th. They have added a run on top 5-1. Gardner staying alive. Sunday on NESN Clubhouse, hear from former Little League pitching phenom Monet Davis and learn what it's like to be the NESN game director. Plus, how much reaction time did Hanley Ramirez have before hitting his one-armed home run? Find out on NESN Clubhouse Sunday at noon, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
I'll tell you, he had a little more reaction time because it was a changeup that he hit out.
Two outs, a count of 1-2 with two men on here for New York. Gardner hits it on the ground to second base. Buchholz to first for the out that ends the inning. Yankees add a run, take a 5-1 lead to the bottom of the eighth. Warner talks about changes to the strike zone. Tune in Sunday at 6 right here on NESN. Bottom of the eighth inning back at Fenway Park. Yankees have a 5-1 lead. Red Sox have work to do, and we have to do it against the new Yankees pitcher. Ellen Betances into the game. 40th appearance, 5-2. 1.61 earned run average. 73 strikeouts, 18 walks. Opponents hitting at 126 against Betances.
44 2/3 innings and 73 strikeouts.
Named to his second career All-Star team. Ground ball foul off the bat of Buchholz. He's got 38 Ks over his last 20 2/3. Holt leading it off, 1 for 3 in the ball game tonight. Single to center in the third. Chops one foul and is down 0-2. It is Holt, Bogaerts, and Ortiz expected. Swing and a miss. Holt strikes out at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Out number 1 of the eighth inning.
I can see why he piles up the strikeouts. I mean, he can just overpower you with a fastball at 98, as Don mentioned, and you know that ball in the glove.
One out for Xander Bogaerts. 1 for 3 night for Bogaerts. He singled back in the first inning. Since then, a ground out and a strikeout. There's strike one at the bottom of the zone. Betances at one point went 26 appearances without allowing an earned run. From April 8th to June the 2nd, it was 29 innings. That's pretty good.
Everything you read under his column is pretty good.
Swing and a miss. Breaking ball, and chasing is Bogarts.
I mean, you've got to, guy throws this hard. You've got to sit on the fastball. All of a sudden, he breaks off the breaking ball like that. It's almost unhittable.
Andrew Miller in the pen. Sander did not hold up. He goes around, rung up by Chris Conroy, first base umpire. Back-to-back strikeouts for Betances, 2 down.
Yeah, once again, back to the breaking ball to pick up the strikeout. You see back-to-back breaking balls here. The first one to Bogarts is going to be a swing, and then he tries to hold up, but he did. Almost similar pitches right there. One a little bit farther outside.
Two down here in the 8th inning. Brings up David Ortiz, 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out to first, struck out swinging, grounded out to second base. Masterson continuing to warm in the Red Sox pen. We've seen Ross, Barnes, and Breslow in relief of Clay Buchholz, who left this game in the 4th inning with right elbow tightness. Didn't miss by a lot. 1-1. David 0 for 4 against Betances with 3 strikeouts. Ortiz fouling it back and evening the count at 2-2. Well, Wednesday on the Red Sox Report, relive the 1999 All-Star Game, one of the greatest moments in Fenway Park history and the career of Pedro Martinez. Pedro prepares for his induction to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Catch it all on the Red Sox Report Wednesday at 5. 2-2 pitch to David Ortiz. Fly ball, left center field. Ellsbury and Gardner. Ellsbury makes the catch. It ends the inning. Red Sox down in order in the 8th. It's on to the 9th. 5-1 New York. Warehouse. Adam Pellerin and Jim Rice will recap the first half of the Red Sox season. Now it's on to the ninth inning back at Fenway. Yankees have a 5-1 lead, out hitting the Red Sox 9-7 in this game. And Boston moving on to their fifth pitcher of the game, Justin Masterson, into his 10th game of the season. 3-2 with a 6.14 earned run average. 32 strikeouts, 21 walks, and opponents hitting at .298 against Masterson. He will first deal with Alex Rodriguez. Masterson moving to the bullpen for the second time this year. In there for the strike, evens a count of 1-1. On the ground left side, charging is Bogarts. In time to get Rodriguez for the first out of the ninth inning. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game, and it was Alex Rodriguez back in the first inning with 2 outs who hit a home run off Clay Buchholz. His 17th home run of the year, his 48th RBI, and put New York on top 1-0. Handed off his batting gloves on the way by to a youngster. This time he grounds out for the first out of the ninth inning. There's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira with a single in the 7th inning, a 1-for-4 game. Now hitting from the left side against the right-hander. Not a safe situation, but the closer for New York is up, Andrew Miller. Two balls, 2 strikes to Teixeira. Masterson in his career as a reliever, 65 games out of the pen. There's a pop-up. Bogarts backpedaling to make the catch for the second out. Red Sox are in the shift, and it's Bogarts who ducks back to make that grab. 2 down. And it'll bring up Brian McCann. Struck out in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, struck out in the 5th, struck out in the 7th. Back up the middle, and to the backhand goes Bogarts in the shift. And he throws out McCann to end the top of the 9th. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 4. Jim Rice will have the top Red Sox plays from the first half of the season. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? 5-1. The Yankees have the lead over the Red Sox. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. New pitcher now for New York. The closer, Andrew Miller, his 28th appearance. 0-1 with a 1.65 earned run average. Has not blown a save this year. 18 for 18. It is a non-save situation, but comes in with a 4-run lead. He's got 27 1/3, 44 strikeouts to 10 walks. And opponent sitting at 105 against the former Red Sox left-hander.
Spent some time on a disabled list earlier this year with a left forearm strain.
In there for a strike, 1-1. Hanley Ramirez 0 for 3 in the game. And followed by Sandoval and Napoli here in the 9th. Up high, 2-1. There's Sandoval on deck. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. No fastball there, gets a breaking ball. It's 2-2.
Yeah, we know Andrew Miller's got a very good slider along with that fastball. Good velocity on the breaking ball. Red Sox have seen plenty of velocity tonight from the Yankee pitches.
On the ground, softly towards third. Figueroa can't play it, and the guy behind him, Gregorius, can't do it either. Reaching is Hanley Ramirez.
Just a little tap down that third base line, and I think if this is fielded cleanly, they got Hanley at first base, but right underneath the glove of Figueroa. So there's still life with a man at first base.
Figueroa charged with an error. Sandoval 1 for 3 in the game tonight. Single to left in the 4th inning. There is strike 1. Strike 2. It'll be very tough on lefties.
Yeah, he kind of slings that ball. He's very tall, lanky, as you can see, and slings that ball to home plate. Dropping down a little bit to the side, and back-to-back sliders to Sandoval.
Strikes out Sandoval for the first out of the 9th.
Just stays with it. I mean, he was if Pablo was going to get a hit there, it was going to have to be on a breaking ball. Once again, the slider. A lot of head shaking going on.
1 on, 1 out, and Mike Napoli, the batter, has been hit by a pitch single to left and popped out to second base as he takes strike 1. Miller upset with himself in that last delivery. Ball and a strike. Down and in, 2-1, and breaking at first was Ramirez, but he will return to first base.
Any base you advance now, you've got to advance standing up. Hanley makes the right decision by going back to first base there as that ball rolled up the third baseline.
Fights it off foul, evens the count at 2-2. Shane Victorino has come out to pinch hit for Alejandro De Aza. On the ground towards third base, Figueroa will go to second base for one. To first will not be in time. We do get the lead runner and Hanley Ramirez 5-4 in the force out. Napoli reaches, and that'll give Victorino a chance.
Figueroa backing up. Once he backs up, that pretty much means that Napoli probably will beat it at first base, and he does, to keep the inning alive.
So 2 down, Napoli at first, and here is Shane Victorino, who is a .478 hitter against Andrew Miller. Pinch hitting for Alejandro De Aza. Runner goes, and just taking second base is Napoli. Defensive indifference. Swing and a miss, and a ball and a strike.
Andrew Miller elevating the fastball this time. He wanted to go inside, but it stays away, and Victorino will chase the outside high fastball.
Popped up, foul ground. Teixeira going as far as he can, but will not have a play. One ball, 2 strikes here to Shane Victorino. A 2 down. Napoli at second base. Ryan Hannigan has come out on deck. Pinch hit for Sandy Leon. First a 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Victorino strikes out, and the Yankees win game 1 of this weekend series from Fenway Park. They come in and beat the Red Sox 5-1 in this game. As Joe Girardi and the Yankees have now won 3 straight, the Red Sox with a loss bring a halt to their 4-game winning streak. That comes to an end, and certainly, Tom, more concerned than anything about Clay Buchholz having to leave this game tonight.